Hey everybody, what is crack-a-lackin'? Coming at you with a Fahkumram guide. This guide basically has some setups, wall combos, times you can trick the opponent into getting up the way you want, some stylish flash setups with the raise drives, pretty much has it all. Now, that being said, it hasn't been that long, it's been like 2 days since he came out, so I probably haven't found everything, but what I have found I reckon is pretty cool, and I wanted to share with you guys, so let's just get stuck into it. So first up, I want to talk about something pretty basic. If you've ever seen any of my Okizeme and setup guides, this is included in it. Anything -4 and below, you can actually sidestep into a launch, or if you're not that greedy, you can do a 10 frame punish or something safe. Basically anything you want if you step the correct way. So yeah, he's down forward 1-2 or down forward 1-2-1. They're both under -4. You can easily sidestep here into down forward 2-3. Or also don't forget that some of his lows are also this exact frames. So his down 4 is actually -1. So you can easily sidestep if they try to jab after this, or down forward 1. It's mainly for people who try to retaliate with quick attacks. But just make sure, again, as I said, you step the correct way. So with his parry, his punch parry, which is down 3+4, is actually really good and flexible. So you can actually parry anything all the way up to -7. Just be careful though, as obviously it's a high, so it can be ducked, and even if it's just blocked, if they start to react to your setups, it is -13. His kick parry is also really dope. It goes up to -7 as well. So yeah, same rules apply. Obviously you got to guess it correctly as well, so I reckon only unless you have a hard read should you ever use these, or you see them literally use it beforehand and they're not changing. Otherwise you could get blown up for it, because yeah, obviously if it whiffs, you're in big trouble. That being said, do not forget as well that even if someone uses a move and you're on minus frames, so say they use like a hatchet kick and you're -4, or now -5 because of the patch, you can press stuff like this if they always do like something after the is within the boundaries. So if it's a punch or a kick, you actually have a counter for that now. You don't have to take shit from anyone. Don't cop any plus frames. This section, I just want to remind you guys of a couple miscellaneous things that might be a bit obvious to some, but I thought I'd mention it anyway. So his fake into the overhead string, so that he has a few of these. Anything with that is actually 0 on block. So that's technically +1, because the quickest while rising move is while standing 4, and that's actually 11 frames. So if the opponent is doing a while rising move, you can hit them with a 10 frame and it'll be a counter hit, as I'm doing here with 1-1. That being said, obviously they can beat you with one option, which is dick jab, but other than that, pretty much sweet by doing 1-1 here, because it's a mid as well. I tested it, you can sidewalk it, but it's actually really hard, so people are probably not going to try to do that unless they're like really sure about how to step it. And also with that in mind, you can go for a bigger risk by sidestepping, because it will sidestep some while standing 4s after, but a lot of people who don't respect frames, they're going to just press buttons they want to press. So like they'll press like a while standing launcher or a 13 framer or whatever, and those might track you and you'll actually get punished for your own setup. So just be careful with this one, but if you want to be safe, I reckon 1-1's alright after this. So the next quick thing I want to talk about is he's down 1, and more specifically he's down 2. So first of all, he's down 1. I'm sure you guys might have noticed it if you played him, but it puts you into crouch. So you can do full crouch mix-ups from here. The thing is, getting into it, it might take a while and someone might interrupt you trying to get into that move. But down 2 actually is very useful because it high crushes. So you can use down 2 to get into full crouch, and then you can do either the hell sweep, or you can even do while standing 3 if you're feeling ballsy. If you got the balls, do that. If you don't and you want to play a bit safer, just do while standing 1, because you can hit confirm it into 2. You might not be able to online, but at the very minimum, it's up to them to duck the while standing 1-2. If they don't duck it, then you don't get punished. So you can go into some really crazy mix-ups here from after using down 2. And obviously it's not a special mid, so you're not going to get low parry from this either. So that's pretty good. It also can't be crouch guarded, so yeah, it's up to the opponent. They actually have to respect this, and then they got to basically guess the mix-up. So I thought that was a pretty interesting thing. I thought I'd just add it into the guide for you guys. And this next thing, I haven't really explored it too much, but his down back 3+4 does actually evade somewhat. I mean, I don't know why you wouldn't just sidestep in general, but I guess it is one of his moves. So if you're one of those people who just likes to use every move that he has, yeah, it does evade some things, even down forward 1, stuff like that. But if you basically, if they do a move that tracks that way, you're pretty much stuffed. So yeah, I wouldn't use this one a lot, but you know, something good to know. Alright guys, moving on to some rage setups. So rage drive, we'll start with these low rage drives. So I came up with this idea. I don't know if it's going to be that useful in match, only time will tell, but judging from the frame data, it is reactable, 24 frames. But that being said, if you place it in the middle of a combo, I actually reckon this is a great mix-up and you can get heaps of damage for it. So as you can see from what I've posted there, 81 is the max damage I got out of that screw. I'm not even sure if it's from that, but from the normal launcher you probably get 75 or something like that. This one, as you can see, it's really good damage. So basically I chose to put it in, you know, it's probably easier after the screw, but I reckon if you include it before you even screw, it's even less chance that they'll work out what you're trying to do. And also, like, a lot of people always mash tech roll if you're dropping a combo, so they can get up the quickest way. I've positioned it here so that, you know, that flip over animation that a lot of, basically every character has. I try to time it after that, because if they tech roll, they actually can't get out of the way. It literally just flips them over and they stand up on the spot, and you can't sidewalk either. So I reckon this is a huge part of where you can put this rage drive in. And basically, yeah, like if they hold back at this point, they're going to have to guess anyway, because they haven't, you know, made any distance. And if they tech roll, literally, it's like their feet are glued to the ground. So I reckon this is a sick way to use this rage drive. One more thing I got to note as well, I found this on Twitter. This isn't my discovery, but if you do while standing 2-4, that's actually another way into the rage drive. So what that means is, if you use the tech I said earlier about going into full crouch for a mix-up, you can actually cancel this into his plus frame high kick, just to give your opponent some pressure, you know. And when they least expect it, I don't even know if they will expect it, because it's not even in the command list. You can use his quote-unquote 4th rage drive, and yeah, you can do it from a while standing move, which is great because he's got a move that puts him in full crouch for the mix-up. So that's another thing you can do. Another really lit thing that you can do is, if you're at the wall, you can actually use 3-1 and then use the string of 3 into 4, 3+4, which is his regular low rage drive, if that was confusing anyone. And if they tech roll, you can immediately catch them as they're getting up, and at least get one wall hit out of that. So all up, as you can see, that's 80 damage. It's definitely more than your regular wall combo would do. And again, you have the advantage after that, because they've been knocked down. So I just wanted to add as well, they're probably in a worse spot if they get up backwards. So this is pretty much positives all around, unless they see it and react to it, which then you can go to a different mix-up. If the enemy does get conditioned by this and is afraid of the low rage drive, you can literally just step with them and just do a mid wall splat, and then you can use the other rage drive, which does massive amounts of damage. Just maximum style on that drive. I love what they've done there. But yeah, like, you can use the drive in lots of different ways, and it's definitely the strongest wall combo for sure. So I'm just going to mention a couple other things about the rage drive. So basically, we know that anything out of a face down knockdown like this, you actually get a guaranteed forward 1+2. That's for sure. Just be aware, you can actually land the rage drive on this as well. You just have to time it with as they're getting up, and they have to be getting up backwards. So This obviously has a few requirements to it, but it is still possible, so I thought I'd just mention it. And a lot of people do hold back when they get up, so they think it's the safest way. If they tech roll, you can actually still get the forward 1+2, because that tracks if they're rolling on the floor. But either way, this is obviously going to be a more powerful follow-up, so I reckon it's worth a shot. Another thing I just wanted to quickly touch on was, I'm sure you guys all know from the trailer that you can get the drive after any of these kinds of knockdowns, where like they're sort of half knockdown. But I wanted to just mention that this string 3, so anything that leads from 3, is actually very underestimated and very powerful, because you can actually use both the raise drives from here. So, you know, if the person doesn't want to duck and they just keep staying standing, you can use your plus frame kick here by doing 4-4, and obviously that just adds more pressure. And if they don't duck, you can use the low raise drive. You can actually semi-hit confirm the mid, so if you see that they'd get like retaliating, that's guaranteed on counter hit, both hits. But if you think they're going to duck, you can use 3 then 4, and then you get the raise drive guaranteed after. So this string I think is really important when you're low, just for some mind games and just to mix up the opponent, because you can do a lot with it. Another quick thing I just wanted to bring up was any follow-up that is finished with forward 1+2, if the opponent's not tech rolling, you can do that infinite amount of times. So yeah, you got to just make sure they're tech rolling, otherwise like you can just do this forever. Following up with this point, if you land forward 3+4 or down forward 2-1, forward 1+2 is actually guaranteed. So just keep that in mind if you're near the wall but haven't quite reached it yet. Just be aware as well, after down forward 1-2-1, it's a special kind of knockdown. If they don't tech roll, a forward 1+2 is guaranteed here as well. However, nearly everybody you meet will always tech roll after this, and if they do, it's basically your free 50-50. So don't forget to take advantage there, because they're literally not going to be able to press when they get up. So now we move on to basically how to end combos for continued pressure and 50-50s. So as you can see here, that's your normal combo damage, 71. So that's what we're going to try to aim to beat here. Instead of guaranteed damage, we're going to sacrifice a bit so that we can get way more, if that makes sense. So the first thing I want to talk about is using a spike. So if you literally do the same exact combo, but instead of ending it with the hell sweep, you end with the 1, they literally spike right in front of you, and you either get a free 50-50 or you get a guaranteed hit, which does more than the regular combo. So basically this tech is for people that aren't really paying attention to how they're waking up, and more often than not people will be mashing a certain type of wake up because they're just used to it. So basically the first setup here with the spike, we're aiming at people that either tech roll or hold back. If they tech roll, we get a free forward 1+2, so that's obviously more damage. And if they don't, that's even better, because yeah, if they're holding back, that would mean they can't get away from us, and we get a free 50-50 on the spot. Now you're going to find a lot of the time people are not going to be respecting this, and that is fine, because all you have to do if they're not respecting is find an option that is quicker than any get up kicks. In this case you can use down 4, because if they tech roll it will hit them on the floor, and if they do either wake up kick, it's quicker than the startup for that. So you still get big damage here. The only way that you get snuffed out is if they do a spring kick, but in that case that's what we want. We want them to spring kick, because then we can launch punish that, you know what I mean? So yeah, it all works out in the end. Again, like before, if they are tech rolling on the flip over, please don't hesitate to do a mix-up, because they literally can't do anything after that. They've chosen to tech roll, and that's going to be their grave. So make sure you initiate a mix-up, and don't forget Fahkumram's actually got a full crouch mix-up as well. So you can literally crouch in their face once they've tech rolled, and yeah, get a 50-50 out of it. I just thought I'd throw this in as well. If you again end a combo in the flip over tech, preferably earlier on than you usually would, you can use the unblockable here, and if they tech roll it will hit. It's just super risky, because if you do it late on in the combo, they're actually spaced enough that they can just whiff punish that instantly. But it is cool and flashy, and I reckon you'll get someone at least once, just a cheeky unblockable. so it's worth a shot. So basically, if you do that and now the opponent's holding back to wake up instead of tech roll, just so they don't have to cop the mix-up, there are certain things you can do, and yes, that was one of them. So basically, if you see they're holding back, if you end with the flip over tech, it actually allows you to get certain hits. In Fahkumram's case, you can get a forward 1+2 if they're holding back. If you do it straight away, you'll hit them on the ground and they'll just flip over. But if you delay it a tiny bit, you can actually catch them getting up and you get a full launch for it. So that's super sick. And he's got dangerous options either way. Whatever the way they wake up, you can do something about it. Now basically what I want to tell you guys is just to remember that all of these setups come with some sort of risk. And the one I just showed you, for example, if they are tech rolling there and your forward 1+2 whiffs, you're basically dead. It's already -14 on block, and if it whiffs, bye bye birdie. So yeah, make sure you got a read on your opponent, and only try this, I would say, if like you got a lead. That being said, with the same setup, you can also, if you're not feeling that risky, you can do a while running 3 after it. That will also catch the back roll. But the good thing about it is, if they tech roll, it should dodge far enough that they can't combo you after that. So, and just one last little detail about this back roll catch. Again, if they're holding back to get up, you can actually hammer them with more forward 1+2s. It literally can go on forever. So yeah, make sure you check how they're getting up. That's the most important thing. Alright, so there's a couple little things you can do if you have the wall splat. And if you've seen any of my setup guides before, you'll know it includes the way they get up as well, like I was mentioning. So basically we're going to use that as a measuring scale. 56 damage for a normal guaranteed damage combo. Also, before we begin, I just want to add in as a little side note, if you do 3-4-3, they actually do this gut-wrenching animation. If you ever see this and you're at the wall, you can definitely get something. There's always something guaranteed after that. In Fahkumram's case, you can actually get down 3-4-3, so you get a full wall combo out of it. So if you do 1-2-1-4 as a wall combo, you actually get that flip over animation I was talking about before, where they have to tech roll or else something's guaranteed. Same thing here, forward 1+2 is guaranteed. Or if you're feeling not as risky, you can do down 1. Either way, something is guaranteed unless they tech roll. And if they do, basically just follow them when they're at the wall, realign and try to get a wall splat. Now, if it's going to kill, I reckon it's worth going for the extra hit on the ground. But if they got a fair amount of health left, I would honestly recommend just following them at the wall just in case, just to see what they do. Or maybe doing a safe thing like down forward 1 that you can recover in time, because if you do either of these, he's too slow to recover and you will get punished. So the next type of wall knockdown I want to talk about is called the back quick roll. So as you can see here, by using 3+4, it puts them in a state where they're literally face down. And if they do not do the back quick roll, you get a guaranteed forward 1+2. And I know you might be thinking, okay, it's only 2 more damage than our regular combo, right? But they're in a very, very bad position if they do that. They're already laying down and they're at the wall. There's no quick get up, there's no spring kick. You can't get up like that if you're face down. So in this situation, they're obviously going to want to hold back so they can get up quicker. But if you do that, we are guaranteed a free mix-up. So basically, as you can see here, there's nowhere to go, you can't sidewalk, and you get a free 50-50 at the wall, which is the most dangerous place to be for them. So the next thing I want to talk about was doing a full crouch mix-up from a wall combo. Now, unfortunately, Xiao Yu, the regular wall combo doesn't work, that I will show you in a second. So for her, you could basically just use down one, to go into full crouch. And if you're going to do that into a hell sweep or into while standing 1-2 hit confirm, it's going to do way more than the regular wall combo, so it's definitely worth trying. So for males, and I'm pretty sure some females it still connects on, you can do 3-1 into down 2, and then the same exact mix-up that we just talked about before. This is going to be huge damage if it lands, like already that's 77 compared to 56. Definitely worth going for the mix-up there. Literally there's nothing they can do there unless they spring kick, which will only evade the hell sweep, in which case the while standing 1-2 will still hit them and they'll still be at the wall. So Win-win for us, guys. Don't forget as well, you don't have to do one of these two options in full crouch. You've also got your while standing 2-4 mix-up strings. So basically, yeah, you can continue your pressure by doing while standing 2-4-4, as you just saw with the high kick. And don't also forget that from while standing 2-4, you can do your rage drive. So as I mentioned earlier, he's got some sick as fuck mix-ups at the wall. Don't be afraid to try them out because, yeah, they're really, really good, and this rage drive is going to give a lot of people some headaches. So you can do some serious damage with it too. So the last thing I want to talk about, like, I don't know if anyone else has noticed it, but the break for his throw is really, really hard. Like, I thought I was pressing the wrong button. I mean, it was online, but still, like, it felt really, really small, and I literally thought I was pressing the wrong button. But anyway, what I wanted to mention about it is it wall splats. And with the right distance and the right timing, you can actually get like insane amount of damage, like over 100 damage with this. Worst case scenario, you actually just get a wall splat, so you can get at least 50 to 60 damage. And if you have rage, I mean, it's just insane. Like, this grab, you should be using it at the wall, especially while it's got this small window break. Alright guys, that about wraps up the Fahkumram setup and Oki guide. I hope you guys enjoyed it and learnt something. Hit me up in the comments if you know of anything else that I missed. But yeah, until next time guys, comment down below what you think I should make next, and I'll let you guys know what's coming. So take it easy for now guys. Peace.